Is that J Plus?
There we go.
Robin Slim Show.
Yes, this is S.L. Walker.
How you doing, SL?
I'm doing all right.
And you're an author, right?
I am.
How long have you been writing for?
Well, actually, in 2013 is when I started writing again.
You had taken some time off?
Well, as a teenager, most girls, you know how we are. We go ahead and we write our stories and everything like that. But, then I started living life, and so, that fell by the wayside.
Yeah. And what did you what made you get back into writing?
Actually, I had an accident. I was riding my bicycle, and I was hit by an SUV, and I suffered a concussion over it. Luckily, that was the worst part of it. And but that's when I first had post-concussive syndrome, and basically all that is you suffer the effects of the concussion for longer than just the ordinary 1 week or couple days. So I was going through that, and I just decided, you know what, I'm going to try and write about my accident. And once I did that, I kind of noticed that it helped with focus and different things. So it took off from there.
That's cool. Do you always write out about stuff from your real life, or where do you find inspiration for your stories?
Well, actually, my debut series is actually erotica.
Ooh,
and but basically I read 50 Shades of Grey, and I was like, this is crap, I can do better than this.
I almost want to ask you if you can read some lines of one of your sexy scenes.
Actually right now I have a link on my Twitter where you can actually read an excerpt of the first 2 chapters of that book, because it just got rebooted.
Okay.
So it just got put back out there again, and it's doing very well.
All right.
Cool.
It's not like fan fiction or anything, is it? I always wonder when people do the.
Basically, the way that I feel is I'm kind of hardcore on people who are biters. Anybody who copies somebody else, I hate them.
Right.
And basically, that's all that she did with 50 Shades of Grey was, that was Twilight, and just basically ripped that off. So I was like, that's what inspired me. I was like, there's too many people out there, and they're just copying one another, or copying other people. And so I want to put something out there that's original. And I'm sorry, but I know it's supposed to be BDSM, but nothing in there is like really that. It's all just soft porn. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it right.
So your stuff is like next level.
Yeah. I threw it in there. I basically try to throw in the different elements of that lifestyle. Not saying that I'm personally in that lifestyle, but, I wanted to be realistic compared to what she had put out. But I don't do fan fiction, and I really, I try to champion original ideas, as well with my, fellow independent authors. I just got picked up by a publishing company, but, I try to, tell everybody you need to be original, because that's all that we're seeing right now is just copies of copies and remakes, and it's just tiring.
What's the proudest book or work you've done?
Really, I would say probably the short story that is published in Femme Fatale. It's a short story collection. It was just released, and it's a horror story, which is kind of going back to, my love of horror, because, I threw the erotica book out there because, of course, I was just like pissed. So, I threw that out there.
It was a spiteful book.
Yeah, basically, I'm a bitch. So, I threw that out there, and I was like, hey, I'm going to get back to what I like. And I love horror, and I love the genre, and I grew up watching horror movies. And so I just, I did a short story, And that's what got me picked up by the publisher, was this short story, and it's called Grinoli. And it's a killer story, and I'm very, very proud of it.
That's cool. Is that your favorite genre, horror?
Yes, it is. You know, I like being scared, and I like scaring other people. And I've had certain experiences in my lifestyle where, you know, I've actually seen a ghost, you know, and I actually have a picture, you know, because we started getting pictures of these ghosts. And they're just like cloud figures, but they are definitely figures. And so, you know, it's not only something that, you know, I watched and I read stories about, but I've actually kind of had to deal with it in life. And so, you know, when that happens, you do feel kind of inspired to say, hey, you know, I kind of know about this. I know how it feels to really, you know, see something like that. So, you know, you're working on a different level there.
Yeah. Cool. Oh, sorry, son.
I was just going to ask, what were some of your, like, favorite horror films?
You know, I actually have a list of them. You would say that there are some on that list. There's like a top 10 list on my website. And some of them are kind of, you don't hear about them. But my favorite is the very first horror movie I ever saw, which was Poltergeist. And
that's a great one.
That's amazing.
Exactly. You know, and I have not watched the remake, and I won't.
No.
Yeah, I won't watch it because the original is where it's at. And I was probably like 4 when I watched it. My family was sitting watching it, and they thought that I was asleep on the couch, and my eyes were open, and I was watching it.
Oh, boy.
And it scared me. It scared me so bad, and it wasn't until, you know, I was like a preteen that, you know, I could start watching it and not be frightened. And, you know, now it's just one of those classic movies that, you know, I'm like, they shouldn't have remade it at all because there was no reason to. But that is my all-time favorite. Now, there are other movies that I love that nobody's heard of because I love Trilogy of Terror with Karen Black in it.
I have no clue. Never heard of it.
You've never heard of it? Oh, my God. There's
You have Pete?
Yeah, I've heard of that.
Pete's heard of it. Intern Pete knows what it is.
Earlier, I didn't catch it. Did it say you saw figures? Or...
Oh, Pete.
Why would you say that?
I have an ear infection. I can't hear.
Well, so, you know, Trilogy of Terror, it's a really cool old flick.
Way to avoid the question there.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm going to avoid that one. But, you know, there are some cool, you know, old TV movies that I like that one was it, Trilogy of Terror. The third story in it is crazy. It has a Zuni fetish warrior, and it was way before Chucky. This thing is scary.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and then there's Gargoyles, which was a made-for-TV horror movie that's, like, crazy good.
I've never heard of that one either. Was it like a sci-fi? Was it a sci-fi original? There was a cartoon in the 90s.
Yeah, they had Burger King toys.
Yeah.
These are actually like 70s movies. They're not even like,
wow.
you know, because sci-fi movies, I don't watch those.
No, you're not into like the Sharknado or?
Oh, those are good.
That's a comedy.
Ian Ziering.
Yeah, that's comedy. That's straight comic relief right there.
What about like the Evil Dead? I love the Evil Dead. Those are some of my favorites.
Yeah, those are good. Those are awesome. You know, I don't mind those. Those are good. But you know that there is the comedy part of that one as well, though.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. That actually, he went more comedy with it. Like the further he went
one,
to,
I think, started with that.
Yeah. The first one was like pure horror, but it still kind of like I think he was shooting for like a very scary movie for the first one, and it was just funny. Yeah. And then he was like, "I'm just gonna go with this."
Yeah.
You know, whatever. Fuck it.
Yeah.
And the second one, it was just acid trip all the way.
The third one was the third one with like knights.
Third one's
Yeah,
where
he
goes
went like back in time or something. Yeah.
That's Army of Darkness.
Yeah, that would
I like that one for how just retarded it is. Like,
Yeah, that's a great movie.
They got a TV series they're doing too. That looks
Ash
amazing.
versus the Evil Dead. Yeah, I heard about that.
You know, that's something that they always do. Once they find something good, they cash in. They're going to throw out as much stuff as possible.
Yeah.
It's the kiddie bowel.
Have you ever started writing a book and not finished writing it?
yes, I've done that. But I always tell myself I'm gonna go back to that.
Yeah. I'm laughing at that.
I think any writer has. You start writing something and it's just like, no, I'm not gonna do this, and I'll never delete them because all the time spent on them. It's kind of like working. When you go to a job and you're like, oh, I'm not gonna really do my job. I'm gonna go sit and steal some time. Basically that's what that is you're stealing time from yourself because you're not finishing it. So I'm not going to ever delete them. I'll just end up going back to them.
Yeah.
Eventually,
Did you have a question?
Oh, no. I think Pete might have a question though. Pete, did you were you wondering about what the SL stood for?
Yeah, I was wondering what the
He
SL
was earlier
stood for.
talking about it.
Right.
Wow, yeah.
I think he thought it meant like slutty lesbian or something. Is that what you said?
I think
Oh,
I might have been
no.
misquoted at that one.
No, they're my initials.
Oh,
Because I'm strictly Dixie. There's no lesbian in me.
All right.
So it should be SB Walker then. But no, it's SB Walker because I was putting out stuff that was risque, and I do have 2 children and a family, so I just didn't want to put my name out there.
Right.
Cool. That's awesome.
All right. You want to wrap this up?
Yeah, I think we're gonna wrap this up. I have to actually catch a bus or get a ride home. I got to hitchhike. But where can everyone find your stuff? Where can everyone find your stuff?
He's got the buzz going already.
Yeah. I start with that.
Anybody can find my books on Amazon. You just look up S.L. Walker. They'll be there. The Accidental Killer is my debut book that just got rebooted. You have Femme Fatale, The Warmth, and Wrecked. So those are 4 different titles that you can find by me on Amazon.com.
Awesome.
All right, I appreciate y'all.
No problem.
No problem.
Thanks
Thank
for
you.
calling.
Thank you.
All right, y'all take it easy. Bye.
You
Bye.
too.
Bye.
You think she was racist because she was from the South, Pete?
Is that why you asked her if she said?
That's
She
what
had
it
dogs
said.
trained to attack figures, or
Wow.
I don't know. They do that down there. Right?
Uh,
They don't like the figures down in the South.
the figures.
All right,
The
guys.
spooks,
Wow.
The apparitions.
Thanks for listening. We'll be back next week, same time, same place. You know where to find us. Love y'all.
Maybe not the same place.
I don't know why.
Your stream stinks. Oh, well, that's right. That was just that thing.